Alrighty, homies and homettes, coming at you with another track video, but first I want to go over this fuel pressure deal. I did verify it today because I thought maybe my regulator's not working and the compressor was making it work because it was giving it too much pressure. So what I did was hook up the regulator to the boost gauge, to the scanner, to the compressor, so I could turn it up, watch the fuel pressure rise on the scanner and the boost gauge. So that's what I did here. I'll show you that jazz and then we'll get into a couple scans because I took it for a drive after, and then the track video. Okay, so fuel pressure. I think I may have the same issue when I was using the compressor as I did when I was doing the boost leak testing. I want to check with the compressor, but I'm going to use the boost gauge and the scan. So I'm going to turn the compressor up, use the boost gauge for reference to see how high it's actually going and see if it's equal to the fuel pressure or how much pressure I need to get to actually make it come up. So let's do that. Scanning already. So I actually blew my line off here. So that kind of sucks, but we'll stop the scan. And so this was coming up about 20 psi. So I'm gonna go back to the first one because I did look at this one. I didn't get it on the camera, but it was like 25. It was like between 25 and 30. And that was the first time that I did it while it was running. So it went up 30 pounds. It went up 30 pounds on the gauge. And here it went from 70 to 100. So it went up 30 pounds there. So it seems like it's accurate, like it's working just fine. Right at 15 pounds and right at 85, up from 70. Right back down. So here you can see it's at 68, fluctuating between like 68 and 70, 69, and then it went up 15 pounds on the gauge, and then went up about 15 pounds on the scanner. So I think it's reading accurately. I'm going to verify this by driving it without the vacuum line on the regulator. So what could be happening when I'm wide open, fuel pressure is dropping, but it's actually increasing pressure from the regulator, so it kind of just stays level. So I could be losing 10 pounds, but it's actually adding 10 pounds back in. So what I'm going to do is take the vacuum reference off of the regulator now and confirm that. If I drive it and get on it and pressure drops, then I know that I still have some type of a supply issue. Alright, so you guys can see right here, kind of got onto it a little bit, just about 41% throttle. You can see the pressure just stayed pretty steady, so it didn't really do anything. Same back here, fuel pressure is just kind of staying steady. So after this one, I pulled over and pulled the vacuum reference line off just to see what was going to happen. And now you can see throttle up, fuel pressure down. Same here, throttle up, fuel pressure down. And here's a little bit of a bigger one over here. Kind of got into it a little bit to see what was going to happen and get into boost a little bit, see if it was going to come up. And look at what the fuel pressure does, just comes in tanks. So basically what's happening, so this dropped to 51 from like 64, flickering around 60. So let's call it 60 down to 50. So boost pressure's coming up and fuel pressure's still dropping. That's without the fuel pressure regulator hooked up to the vacuum line. So when it is hooked up, I think it's just masking this issue here. So it's actually raising. It's just kind of compensating for the loss in pressure. That's why it looks like it's flatlining. It looks like it's just steady. So, but it's not steady. I am losing pressure, and the pressure regulator is working.
Go ahead and took the grill off this time and the headlight out. See if that helps at all.
All right, voiceover time. So sitting in the lanes, getting ready to go, throw the seatbelt on, try to get all the nerves out. My plan for today was just kind of take it easy. I just took the second pump out. I'm not sure how the truck is going to react. Honestly, I should have just left both pumps in at least until after this day, because the truck was running really good, and then I messed with it. So kind of starting on a fresh tune, basically just tuned it right before I drove there, similar to every other day that I drive there. But I just wanted to do 8th mile passes today. I know the truck's only at like 9 pounds, so just wanted to do 8th mile and work on the 60-foot times. So that's the goal, that's the plan. And then I told myself if I got my 60-foot time down and 8th mile time down, then I would push it for a quarter mile and just kind of Hail Mary pass and go. But let's see what happens.
Felt good. Intake temp still got to 160 though, so that kind of sucks.
Alright, so this pass here, second pass, just going to do 8th mile. Didn't really improve much on the 60-foot time. So for this one, I changed the fueling a little bit. I changed my tire size because I put the bigger slicks on, so I still had the old tire size in there, and it was shifting really early. It was shifting at like 6,000 instead of normally shifting at like 64, 6,500. So let's see what we got this time. Alright, so coming up for the third pass of the night. This will be the third and final pass. So this is my happiest and saddest moment of the day, and I'll give you guys a little bit of a spoiler. This was actually my best 60-foot time ever. It's a 1.64 60-foot. I'm saying that before the pass because I want you guys to watch and just see how hard this thing launches. This thing moves, and I could definitely feel it when I launched. Hunter blew it up. He's got smoke and fire coming out. Good thing he brought the trailer. So we'll have to see what happened there. He definitely blew it up though. He was having issues with it earlier starting, so I don't know if that had something to do with it actually blowing up. But it definitely blew up.
When you got a big mess like this, it's going to take a long time to clean it. Once again,
so they're just making the announcement that there's still people in the lanes, but they got to clean the oil up, so they're not going to be able to run the rest of the cars before they close. So, well, he did it, but he certainly did it the right way. Blew it up right at the finish line. That's probably the best way you could do it. Hey, there he goes. I wonder what they're going to do with the car.
They might just leave it at the top of the hill and then he can go pick it up. Cleaning crew coming out. Perfect time to do it too. It was 2 minutes from closing. Well, actually, I think it was 2 minutes from closing when he pulled in, so they were basically done. There's only 3 cars left to run. Interesting process here. I've never seen this done, so I'm kind of interested. I just want to watch and see how long it takes. So when I do the same thing and blow it up, I know how guilty I need to feel. Oh, looks like they're just laying out a whole bunch of cat litter. Pretty cool.
I broke it!
Was that your best pass ever?
Yeah. I broke it.
Grand finale.
I finally broke it. Dude, it's bitched.
Yeah, there was
It
like
pulled Orion.
there was a lot of fire.
It pulled Orion.
No, I don't feel so bad.
It's on that side.
What side? Driver's side?
Yeah.
Yeah, number 7.
Yep.
Oh, I was right.
Give me that light.
Well, when I heard the rods clanging, I lifted.
Let me see that light.
That's good. That's what I said. I'm like, you did it right in the
I
perfect spot.
smelt the oil,
Yeah.
like at the 8th, and I'm like, should I keep going? And I stayed in it like an idiot. And then clangity, 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 clangity. Huh. All right, $5,000. The block broke?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'd probably kicked the whole side of the block out.
Yeah,
Right
I probably
there.
did.
Oh, fuck.
At least that's what mine did anyways.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, that's the pan.
Wait, isn't the pan right here?
No, that's the pan.
What's this?
No. It'll be farther back.
This
probably.
is the oil pan.
Yeah, the pan.
Oh, okay. I see.
Well, here we go.
Gen 4 broken. Buy a Gen 3, they say.
Big ol' hole. That looks like probably 3 and 4 maybe. That's not even that big of a hole, dude.
It's really not. But it happened at over 100.
What was the time?
10.5 or something?
10-5. Well, guys and girls, another one in the books. It was not the greatest day, but it was a day. We did improve in some areas. I did have my best 60 foot ever, but 2 passes I did 8th mile. One I tried to do a quarter, but I was at like way too much boost, very lean air-fuel ratio, so I lifted. I'm going to go home and check the pistons, just make sure I didn't hurt anything. You can probably hear my turbo is whistling extremely loud right now because I blew a coupler off during that pass. So, I don't know if maybe hitting it with my tire kind of loosened it up, but I definitely blew it off, and it was at 18 pounds, which was not good. 18 pounds, 15 degrees of timing, which isn't really terrible, but it did it at a 13.0 air-fuel ratio. So I wasn't expecting it to go up that much. I was at like 9 pounds. I did 1 turn, or what I thought was 1 turn on the boost controller. But while I was doing it, I remember backing it off a little bit because I thought I might have accidentally did 2 turns. Because I was talking to somebody while I was doing it, and it was dark, and I had my arm like shadowing the words on it. And I usually use the words boost as a reference for the position. And I think I lost position of it and made it turned it up too much. Either that or the adjustment is more sensitive than I expected. But I definitely went from 9 pounds to 18 when I thought I was maybe going to like 10 or 11. So hope I didn't hurt anything. It doesn't sound like it. Everything's driving and running really smooth. So we'll check it because we never know. Did show 5 degrees of knock retard, so that's never good. And it means I would say it was knocking at some point. success of the night though, one other one I guess, maybe it's not that much of a success, but my intake air temps seem to have come down a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. So they seem to be coming up quickly, but they don't continue to rise very fast. So it gets to like 160 by the 8th mile, which is kind of high, but it doesn't continue to climb really fast after that. So then again, I never did a full pass, so it's kind of hard to say at this point. So the turbo, I would say, did not absolutely fix the issue. So I might start looking into a different intercooler or something. Something. I don't want to have to worry about it anymore. I'm sick of worrying about it. Anyways, I'm going to go home and get this video edited. Check the pistons. I'll actually do that on this video, so I'll check the pistons, show you guys what they look like, and then I'll edit the video. So one other thing that I think is kind of funny, my fastest pass of the night was a 12.2 at 90 miles an hour. So I remember when I was pumped that I did a 12.6, because that was like a big improvement. So this is a 12.2 lifting at the 8th mile at 90 miles an hour. So it's got some potential. I just need to figure it all out at the same time.
Alright, so going down the driver's side, this is number 1. Everything pretty much looks okay. Spark plug looked really good on this one too. This is number 3. Looking at number 3, you can see a little bit of detonation there, which I'm expecting to find something there because it was a 13.0 air-fuel ratio at 18 pounds of boost. So here's number 5. 5 actually looks pretty good. No damage to the piston. That actually looks like just a little bit of carbon buildup there. So 5 looks pretty good, pretty clean. Go ice skating on that bitch. So moving on to number 7. Lucky number 7. If I can find the hole. So 7, I did actually pull the piston down and look at it a little bit more. It does look like there's some spots on this one too. I was expecting this one to be the worst out of all of them. Definitely like maybe something broken. Not really seeing that. So it does look like there was some detonation. Some little white spots. It doesn't look physically damaged. So this is number 2 on the passenger side. 2 looks pretty good. Oddly enough, 1 and 2 are perfect. And this is number 4. So 4 is probably the worst out of all of them. The whole top of the piston looks like it's got these little white detonation speckle spots on it. I think you can actually hear the knock in the video. I'm going to line it up with the scan, but I think you can actually hear the knock in the video. So this one looks probably the worst out of all of them. And number 6. A couple speckles, not too bad. Doesn't really say much for what the second ringland might look like. So it's not like it wasn't hurt at all, but it's not terrible, I guess.